everybody. Thank you for joining us for the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. I am your host, Zaria Robinson, and this is the first episode titled Black Girl Clickbait. I have some special guests here with me today. I'm here with Dynasty Johnson.
Hey.
And Megan Brown.
Hi.
How y'all feeling?
I feel amazing. How do you feel?
Oh, wait. Let Dynasty answer.
I feel lovely.
I feel good. So since y'all said how y'all feel, we're going to play a little game where y'all going to guess a song title or lyric with the word that you just chose. So what was your word?
Amazing.
All right, pick your song with amazing in 10 seconds. 1.
Amazing. Sing grace.
Okay. You got it.
How sweet.
That works too.
What was your word?
Lovely.
All right, so pick a song title.
Isn't she lovely? Okay. Isn't she wonderful? Where is my standing ovation?
Oh.
Thank you. Now, Zaria.
My word was good, and I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I'm not as good at singing, but you got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to go into what's really real. And this is a warning to the listeners, not to offend anyone and no judgment, but a conversation needs to be had.
Senior at the University of Mississippi has a message for all the white gay men out there who she says are acting like black women. She says, stop stealing black female culture. That's actually the title of her opinion piece that Time published on its website. Here's what Sierra Manny says in her piece. She says, quote, you are not a black woman, and you do not get to claim either blackness or womanhood. The difference is that the black women with whom you think you align so well, whose language you use and stereotypical mannerisms you adopt, cannot hide their blackness and womanhood to protect themselves the way that you can hide your homosexuality. Of the gay white men who disagree with her, at least one of them decided to fire back a response, and that is H. Alan Scott. And he wrote this: recognizing the things that she thinks belongs only to black women is the very thing that causes the separation and hate in our society. There is a reason why this country is called a melting pot, because eventually, once you lose the BS separation and start appreciating what makes us all amazing, you start realizing that. Now, we're not all that different.
I did not say in my article that we should ignore our differences. We should embrace our differences. And we should realize that we're all kind of the same and we're all experiencing this at the exact same time. And that it isn't about specifically isolating gay white men as doing something to black women. It's about unifying a community and saying, we're in this together.
What compelled you to, because when I read it, I was like, okay, why is he defending his right to be a black woman or act like a black woman?
I mean, all due respect, I feel like you misread that. I don't feel
No, but that's what you're doing. You're saying we have a right. You're saying we have a right to do this. We should all be able to do what we want. So I want to know
I'm saying that culturally we have a right to communicate in ways that is not offensive. And yes, there are levels that saying ghetto booty is very offensive. However, if these men, gay men, and we all have experienced this, and I've seen it myself, where gay men do identify with the affirming awesomeness of black women, the Dreamgirls effect, the Beyonce effect, which you quoted. And also, too, we have to acknowledge historical context here, that many of the mannerisms that you spoke of in your article actually come from gay culture, like Paris is Burning, like Boys in the Band. These are not new mannerisms that have come in the last 10 years because of African-American female culture. It's been around. So
here's what I think is the most important thing that you say, and that what you, H. Allen, should understand when you're trying to be cute or funny or gay and you're walking up to people saying, hey, girl. What she says here, she said, but here is the shade. The non-black people who get to enjoy all of the fun things about blackness will never have to experience the ugliness of the black experience, systematic racism, and the dangers of simply living while black. I know that there is a similarity in gays being gays and transgender people and questioning people being discriminated against. It's not the same as being an African American. And this is not my minority group is more, discriminated against in yours.
That's belittling the gay experience.
But at least, I said it's similar. I didn't say that the same. It's not the same.
Implying that we can hide our homosexuality is belittling it.
No, but it's the truth. You can hide your homosexuality. Listen, let me tell you, if I ask people on the screen, I said, which one of these people on the screen is gay? Nobody would know that. But if I said, which one of these people on the screen is black, everybody would know that. There is some credence to that.
So what are your thoughts after watching that video?
One part that really stuck with me was when she said that gays can hide their homosexuality, but we can't hide our blackness, which is true, because when you look at the video, you can automatically tell who's black, but you cannot tell who's gay. And also, the white gay man, he was saying how some of the stuff that she was saying was black culture we got from white gays, which is not true. We got it from black gays who act like black women, because what separates a black gay man from a regular man is that he acts feminine, and what does feminine mean is female. So it all comes back to black women at the end of the day.
Exactly. And in order to agree with this perspective, you need to be educated. And I totally agree with the fact that associating being sassy with being inherently black is offensive. When gay men do it, it's a form of being sassy. But when a black woman do her culturally made mannerisms, she's ghetto or ratchet. But the offense is quite hard to understand, and I feel that side of the table needs some more education. But what I do agree with is that not all gay white men act feminine, and at one point, this perspective can be discriminative.
All right. Coming through. Well, like what you were saying, like how like they get to act sassy and like we automatically assume something else. So that leads to our next question. How do you feel as a black girl when someone else pretends to be like you and they get called spicy or get a pass, but you get called an angry black woman with an attitude?
This especially happens in Latino culture. They're so quick to be like, oh, she's spicy, she's hot, on stuff that's not even important. Like say a Latino girl says she don't like ketchup. Ooh, she's so spicy, I love that. But if I say I hate being discriminated against in the workplace, I have an attitude. And that's just ridiculous. And even if someone who's lighter than me was to say the same thing, it would still come off as less aggressive. But just because I'm darker, it's gonna come out as I'm being angry or I'm upset, when really I'm just trying to get my point across.
Okay, so as a black girl, it's a challenging thing to just accept the copying we receive, but personally, to make sense out of it, imitation is, look, when you feel somebody copying you or want to be involved with something that's yours, that's flattering until it starts to bug the heck out of you, because I don't see it stopping or changing. I'm pushing the narrative to stop it from happening, but I'm also coping with it in a way. I do believe there's room for everyone. It's definitely offensive for someone to copy you after you done put blood, sweat, and literal tears into expressing yourself. But to be optimistic, at worst, people could be struggling with low self-esteem or struggling with the idea of being creative or even just jealous. But as a black girl, I'll say keep pushing the other cultures' race to see glory in their own. And I feel this kind of thing wouldn't be happening in general if people accepted their own side of the table. And in a unified way, I think it's important to help other people accept themselves.
I want to touch on what Donaldson said about accepting yourself, because I feel like really other cultures copying us is rooted in insecurity, and that they're only doing it because they're not comfortable with their own culture or lack thereof or whatever it may be. And so they come to us because it's just whatever they see like is the easiest to copy, because we have such big personalities if they see it.
So do y'all kind of feel like them doing this is almost like using us as like a costume?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can kind of almost compare it to a little sister and a big sister in a way. Mm-hmm. It's allowed. That's your sibling. What more can you do?
Your little sister.
You feel me? When your little sister, and then too, if you're a good influence and what you're putting in front of her isn't a bad or negative thing, then yeah. But versus another race, another ethnicity, culture is totally different.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost sort of like blackface. Like if you're going so far, it's like copy the hairstyles and like the body type, and even like tending like that far to be the skin color. It almost feels like it's a socially acceptable form of blackface. If you did actual blackface, you would look ridiculous and you would be called out immediately. But this is like accepted for some reason.
I feel like it's easy for us black women to be put into this costume realm because the women or men who are sort to say blackfishing, it's because they'll never know the actual struggle black women go through just to be accepted in general. It's easy to appropriate or demonstrate the demeanor of a black woman, but how much easier is it to actually be one?
All right. Like y'all coming through. All right, so with all that being said, how do you guys feel when people are constantly making your existence something to be made fun of?
Can you elaborate?
Kind of like with the costume. They're not really treating you like a human being. They're treating you like, kind of like what Dynasty was saying, you will never know what it's actually like to be a black girl, but you get to turn it on and turn it off. So it's like for them, it really is like just making fun of whatever we do, because they can easily do it, but then they don't have to suffer the consequences of being a black girl. Like, how do you feel?
I get what you mean. It feels like they don't see us as people. They see us as just the stereotypes and nothing beyond that. Like I can literally have the exact same personality as a white girl. Like I can be soft spoken or I can be shy, but the same thing I'm saying is gonna come out extremely like aggressive and loud and all that, and just because I'm black, it just feels like they only see me as a stereotype and not so much as a person with depth and a personality and feelings.
Exactly. And like being at the top of the discussion is depending on how we're being discussed in the conversation reflects my feelings. On negative terms, it's annoying and it's a tease, but in positive terms, I feel glorified and honored. Because I can say I have heard a lot of conversations about what people think of black women or girls or the narrative that they're pushing us out to be. And I can say some of the things, like I said, as a black girl, I do agree with, and some of them I don't. So it all just depends on the discussion or what topic they're discussing us in.
I like how you mentioned topic because it doesn't seem like we always the main topic of the conversation.
But the concept.
Always. Do you feel like black girls are always the butt of jokes?
I would say yes, but I don't think people are necessarily trying to make us the butt. Like, they don't see it as making us the butt of jokes. That's just how it comes out, because that's pretty much how like what you're saying. Like, okay, so like on RuPaul's Drag Race, all of them like put on like butt pads and like real long fingers and all that, and you can see that it's copying black culture, and it's like they're trying to mock black women, but they don't see it like that. They just see it as being feminine, and that's just not what being feminine is.
That was a great point. Oh my gosh, yes. And I do feel black girls are the butt of jokes. Not to say other races don't have the ability to grow luscious bums, but come on now. Come on now. It's crazy how bigger butts have become like a fashion industry joke or a aesthetic. It's like the attributions that black women for so long have been shamed for has got approval from every race but black. The big booty era has never started or stopped for black women, because if it had, Miley Cyrus, Iggy Azalea, J-Lo wouldn't have the praise they have now.
Because when you go look at America's Next Top Model and you watch the earlier seasons, like from before the 2010s, you're not gonna see like big lips and big breasts and tans. You're gonna see little skin. Exactly. You're gonna see little skinny, pale white women. Like, you're not gonna see what you see now. But it feels like we're a trend. Like, it's cool to like black girls right now, and I'm gonna be a black girl my whole life. Like, I don't get to be a trend.
Okay.
I don't get to be whatever the beauty center is next month. Like, it's just not fair, like, how we get treated like that.
Your body, I'm always gonna have these big lips.
And I'm always gonna have curly hair. Like, I can't just turn it off.
But lucky to say, honey, these doctors out here making money off of our features. They heavy. I'm trying to tell you.
Alright, so we're gonna switch the topic a little bit.
Okay.
But I actually do want to get your opinion on this. So how do you feel about the black girl versus white girl, or light skin versus dark skin in the dating world?
I do feel people are entitled to like and love whoever they want until preference become prejudice or colorism. Because preference is liking someone's personality or interest, not skin color. Look at it like this. Is your looks and your skin color going to raise your future kids, or is their heart and mind going to? Like, are you necessarily in love with the thought of him or her physically, or are you in love with the way he or she make you feel? That's the real preference we need to have on each other when deciding who to date. I just personally don't feel color should be a block when it comes to choosing who you decide to love or like.
I feel like people don't really realize when they're crossing the line into colorism. Like, it's one thing to say, "Oh, I prefer light skinned girls over dark skinned girls." When you say, "I dislike dark skinned girls because they're dark skinned," you're crossing the line. Like, it's okay to like somebody for their features, but to bash somebody else's features is when you're like bullying at that point.
It kind of is like what you just said. When you're bashing them, like, that's when it's becoming a form of bullying. Because, like I said, I always use an example. Like, if you ask someone, like, "What's your favorite color?"
Yellow.
So why do you like yellow?
It's a happy color.
You see how you didn't mention another color.
Exactly.
You ask a black guy, like, "Why do you like white girls?" They always go to black girls are ghetto.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
But we didn't ask you about black girls.
Why you like white girls? Well, I wanted to do another quick game so we can end on a good note. So name your favorite black woman actress.
Viola Davis.
Gabrielle Union. Honestly, like, that woman is just a powerhouse. Okay, you.
On the spot,
Okay.
name 3 movies or TV shows that your favorite actress was in under 30 seconds.
Okay, Bring It.
1, 2,
If I name another version of it, does that count?
4.
Okay, Bring It.
Yes. 6, 7,
Why is this so difficult? I love her.
9, 10.
Okay, Bring It, Daddy's Little Girl, and Raising Jane. I think that's what it's called.
1.
The Help, How to Get Away with Murder. She was not in The Help. How to Get Away with Murder. She was in a bunch of Law and Order episodes. Is she in Color Purple?
7, 8.
The Color Purple.
9.
Is she in the Color
Do the
Purple?
research.
I love her, but like it's so hard to think.
Ain't that crazy? Was she in that?
She was.
Period. In the Color Purple.
Okay.
Not just saying The Help.
Wait, because I really want to make sure what I told y'all was accurate. Oh, it was being Mary Jane. I was close. I said Raisin Jane.
So you got it wrong.
I got it wrong. It's okay.
Alright, my favorite is Lauren London.
Okay, ready, go. 30, 29,
This Christmas,
28, 27,
games people play.
26.
The game.
Wow, and she did say ATL.
That's my favorite movie. Let's wrap this up. So how y'all feeling one more time after this conversation?
Empowered.
Honestly, feeling empowered.
Thank you guys for joining me and having this conversation for Black girls everywhere. And to everyone listening, thanks for tuning in again. And I'm your host, Zaria Robinson, and this was Black Girl Clickbait. And we are on
We are the Flora Pearl Podcast.
Yeah.
And